today?
Why don't you start?
Well, we're sisters and we're currently living together to save, because apartments in Maryland are very expensive, and we both just graduated from undergrad not too long ago, and we're just trying to save money, but we didn't want to live with our parents. So we're living together in a 2-bedroom apartment, and my sister has a boyfriend who she loves very much, and I'm very happy for her, but her boyfriend's a freeloader. He pretty much lives in the apartment all the time. He's there all of the time, and he technically lives with his parents, but he's over here all the time, and he just kind of sleeps on our couch. And this wouldn't be so much of a problem however, he just kind of sits on his ass, plays Call of Duty all day. He sleeps until about 2 p.m., goes to bed at about 4 a.m., doesn't have a job, eats all of our food. Like, I bought 2 bags of cheese puffs that I was just gonna eat and snack on. Sorry. I was just gonna eat and snack on, and then I got home from work one day. I'm very stressed out, and all I want to do is just eat some fucking cheese puffs. And I come back to find both of these bags of cheese puffs gone, and he's got like soda cans all around the room. He has beer bottles. He's like 20. Actually, no, he's 22, so he's legally able to drink. But I was frustrated. There was a whole bunch of beer bottles, and he had like 3 of his friends over, and I got really mad, and I may have lost my temper at him and his friends, and it wasn't cool. And then she got really mad at me, and then I kind of lost my temper at her because I was like, in my defense, I was really frustrated, and I probably shouldn't have lost my temper, but it's really frustrating to work 10-hour days at a nursing home and to come back and to find all this shit on my floor that I'm gonna have to clean up, and there are Coke stains all carpet, and I'm just really mad.
Okay. Would you like to add anything to that?
Well, he does have a job. He tests video games, and he's out all night because he's also a musician, so he does make money. He does have my rent, which I didn't tell you about. Okay? You're just jealous.
I didn't know that he was paying half of the rent, and I would have appreciated to have known about this. However, if he's gonna live here, he needs to clean up after himself. And I think I found some weed the other day. Like, I don't want any weed in the house. I'm just really frustrated, and I wish he would just, if he's gonna live with us, I want him to pay a third of the rent, and he's gonna need to, I don't know, pick up after himself. He's gonna need to be more on top of telling his friends that he just needs to, they need to clean up after themselves too, because it's really getting frustrating. I'm really getting mad.
He had a hard childhood, okay?
What hard childhood?
His parents got divorced.
But so did ours.
Yeah, but not when we were born. His was right away.
Okay. So how does it make you feel when you hear her talk about your boyfriend the way that she has?
I think she's just jealous. She's never had a boyfriend like this, and we've been together a long time, and she just wants what we have.
Why do you think she's jealous?
It's the way she's been acting out. She's lashing out at me and everything. I mean, yeah, he does need to clean up, but he does once in a while, and I don't know. I come home from work,
Well, last time you cleaned up 2 months ago.
Well, let her talk. She let you have your opportunity. We'll come back to you.
She screams at me. It doesn't make me want to talk to him and say, clean up your mess. It just makes me want to go in my room, be by myself, with him, I guess.
Okay. All right. So when she says these things to you, what do you hear her saying? So you think she's jealous, but what is she actually saying?
That she doesn't mind him being there, but she just wants him to clean up after his mess and not just make noise all the time and everything, which I understand, but I feel like there's better ways to go about it than yelling at me or him. Like, I didn't even want to live with her. I wanted to stay at home, and she just wanted to be roommates, so I agreed to it. I was fine being at home.
Okay. So you've mentioned a a little while ago that it sounds like you are a person who's very non-confrontational and you kind of just want to go with the flow. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So
I
then,
feel like we're opposites in that way, in a lot of ways, I guess.
so what made you think, because you're saying that you're opposites, why did you agree to live with her if you know you're opposites?
Well, like you said, she kept badgering me and everything, and so she said, we have to live together, we have to save money and everything. I didn't want to be confrontational and be like screaming at her or anything, so I was just like, fine. So I agreed to just live with her, and I got a boyfriend, we were gonna live together, but he doesn't make a lot of money, so I said, just live with us. It'll work out. And so far, it hasn't really worked out, at least with him being there.
Okay. Did you bring that up to your sister before you invited him to come live with you? Because it sounds like she thinks he's just hanging out at the house too often, but from what you just said, you invited him to come live with you, which those sound like two different things to me.
I did. He stays at the week at his parents' house sometimes, but overall he lives with us, and I don't care what the big deal is. When I talked to her about it, but she just kind of goes on about her business, going to work, coming home, whatever.
So your sister thought you were, I'm just trying to make sure I understand this. So your sister thought that you guys were getting an apartment together. You invited your boyfriend to live with you. To live
After
with you
living
guys.
with her for a couple of months.
Okay. But before asking her if she was okay with that.
I talked about it, but I don't think I ever really asked her about it. I
Okay.
brought it up a couple times, but I never said, hey, can he live with us or anything. Which I guess is not a great thing to do.
Right. Is it possible that this situation could have gone differently if you had brought it to her attention prior to inviting him to come live with you?
Yeah, because I feel like she wouldn't be so explosive right now. Even if he still didn't clean up, at least she would have agreed to him being there.
How does that make you feel right now?
While I understand that I have been a little overbearing and demanding in the past, I just would have appreciated those points being made to me before all of this happened. Like, I understand that I can be intimidating, but I feel like had this been brought up, I probably would have been a bit more receptive to it.
So, what do you think you would have said if she brought it to you?
Like, okay, well, I probably would have expressed there would have needed to be certain conditions, like he definitely would have needed to contribute to the rent, he would have been responsible for cleaning up after himself and various chores throughout the apartment. But I feel like I would have been okay with him living with us, or like as a whole.
And so now that that did not occur, how can we move forward? Because he's living with you, you're unhappy with that, and you don't want to have any confrontation, but you don't also see the reason why she's so upset. So how can we figure out a way to move past this?
I feel like kind of having a chat with all three of us and just kind of discussing with him the expectations of what needs to happen. Like, if he hasn't, like, sure, if he's a musician, like, obviously I understand that. I've dated a few musicians, of course, some of those relationships have been successful. But I understand that, you know, it's going to be out late and I would have probably, and, you know, I would need to express, like, hey, just don't be so loud when you come back, because that's also been a concern. He gets back late and makes a whole lot of noise, and that annoys the hell out of me. So I would definitely express that, but also just understanding that he needs to clean up after himself, and, you know, I personally need to be more in control of my anger. Like, this isn't the first time I've been super angry. I've had anger management issues in the past, but, you know, just also something that, and just having her communicating to me would also be very important.
So you mentioned you communicating to her boyfriend about what the expectations are,
Yes.
and her communicating to you, but you didn't say anything about you communicating to her. And I'm curious as to why that was left out.
Honestly, I probably just didn't think about it, but there are definitely things that I can communicate with her. Like if I'm frustrated, I can communicate to her. Maybe her boyfriend will probably be a lot more receptive to hearing from her than he is me, especially now, given that, you know, I'm kind of a hothead. And also just me communicating, like, you know, when I've personally have messed up and lost control, like communicating to her that I acknowledge this is wrong and I'm working on it.
So you brought up that you seem to lose control, lose your head, and you can come off aggressive and things of that nature. How long has that been going on?
Probably since my teenage years. Our parents got divorced when we were about 12, and then I kind of started acting out and getting a lot more aggressive. Our parents, I don't know, they're separated, or they're divorced, but I don't know. They still kind of cohabitate together, but they still tended to fight a lot. So I'm not saying that this excuses my behavior, but I may have picked up some tendencies from them, and I don't know, I've had a lot of friendships end because of my aggression. Like, obviously this has impacted our relationship as a result of my aggression. I've had relationships end because I've been very hot-headed, that kind of thing.
So you feel that when the divorce or when the separation occurred, that this is kind of a byproduct of that?
In some ways, yes. In other, like, obviously I don't think that excuses my behavior, and obviously I need to work on that, but definitely that played into it a little bit. Whereas I feel like she kind of became a lot more passive and, I guess, worried to bring up her concerns.
Okay. Would you agree?
I would agree, because I would see my parents fight and everything, and then I saw she became more angry or hot-headed, as she likes to use. And I didn't want to be like that, so or other people around me like that either. So I would just not confront anybody or just bottle my anger, I guess, and not really let it out. And so I just kind of kept it away, and she kind of shows my anger for me, I guess, by showing her own anger.
Now, when your parents were going through their separation, did they exhibit these things? Like, was one parent more passive or one parent more aggressive, or do you feel like you got that from them or from somewhere else?
I guess on my dad's side of the family, tempers can be very explosive. So I'd say my dad's typically kind of more, he's more prone to anger than my mom is, but my mom also has her moments where she gets very angry as well. When you have both of them in the same room fighting each other, it's not pretty.
And since I feel like I'm closer to our mom, so I kind of maybe side with her and kind of related to her more. And she tended, like she said, to show anger, but a lot of times kept it down and didn't confront her dad. So I feel like I kind of took her side and related to her more than our dad.
Now, do your parents, do they get along? You said they're separated, but they're still cohabitating, so I assume they still get along.
They can live together, but they don't talk a whole lot.
The relationship part didn't work out for them. The roommate part seems to work better.
Yeah. They definitely fight a lot less now, but a lot of times they just barely talk or acknowledge each other. It's just kind of more out of convenience.
Okay. So, is it possible that this is a reason that you guys felt that you could live together knowing that you're opposites, that your parents are opposites and they're living together? Is it possible that you figured because it's working for them, it would work for you guys?
Not consciously, but now that you mention it, there are definitely parallels between those situations.
Yeah, I never thought about it that way. Even though I wanted to live at home, but I guess I was more unconsciously still wanted to live with her, but without being confrontational or anything. Just used to cohabitating with her, just like our parents are used to cohabitating with each other.
So we've talked about what you could do. We could have the conversation with the three of you guys and just setting some ground rules, some expectations. You come off very mothering. Are there different approaches that you could use to make it seem less?
Definitely thinking more before I act, like when I'm frustrated about something. Don't instantly react, take a second to think, take a few minutes to think about how I want to address this in a much calmer way, so I don't tend to make the situation worse as a result of my anger.
I think because our parents did separate and get divorced, she became more of like my mother, and that might be why I just let my boyfriend do whatever I want, because that might have been my way of confronting her and defying her. Since we don't live with our parents anymore, just seen her that way too as a sister.
Seeing her more as your mother than your sister? Do you see her that way?
I didn't think I did, but I guess I do, since she's is setting like more rules and everything, at least for my boyfriend and everything, to clean up and everything. So I feel like I kind of just saw her as a mom, more of like our relationship, I guess. And then I feel like I don't want it to be like that anymore. I either need to break up with him or just figure out what he's gonna do and not act like a child anymore. How do I see what she's seeing? So I need to work on our relationship as sisters and not as pseudo mother.
Yeah, and obviously I don't want you to end your relationship as a result of this, especially if you're really happy with them, but more communication would be beneficial.
So how does it, knowing that earlier, about 15 minutes or so, you said that you feel that she reacted the way she did because she's jealous. So how does it make you feel hearing her say that she doesn't, if you're happy with this guy, that she doesn't want you to break up with him? So it almost sounds like the opposite of her being jealous.
I guess I was just looking for a reason as to why she would lash out at me or my boyfriend. So I just kind of assumed she must be jealous because she doesn't have a boyfriend right now. Instead of actually seeing what she's seeing in our apartment. Now I do realize that she wants us to be together, just wants it to be more clean, I guess.
Okay. So aside from this situation, how can we approach news? Because if you live with someone, regardless of if that person is your spouse or your parents or your siblings or friends, you're two different people trying to live together. And so you have your expectations and she has hers. How can we kind of bridge that gap moving forward with new situations that may arise? What could you do different? And what could you do different to make sure that the communication is better?
Well, I'm very outspoken about the way I feel, so maybe honestly kind of taking that back a few notches, spending some time thinking about what I'm going to say and to ensure that it's effective as opposed to berating someone for it. Kind of taking more of that approach as opposed to just screaming at people.
Okay.
Yes, I could not confront her, but just be more open with what I'm thinking instead of just going with the flow kind of thing if I have an issue or anything. Or we could have like weekly meetings or like roommate meetings kind of if there's really an issue going on between us and my boyfriend. Just kind of have it out in the open instead of just pushing it down until we end up like this again.
Okay. Well, I think as long as you guys work on that and you keep the lines of communication open, then issues like this, if they do arise, you should be able to handle them. All right, thank you for coming in. That's it, it's like 10 seconds left.
Oh, okay. All right, that works.
That works. I just have to